Stock and options trading unlocked.
If you want to learn how to make 6 or 7 figures a year trading 2 hours a day, this is the show for you.
We're here to talk about everything trading, weekly news, tips, and special guests to get you motivated and profitable.
Don't forget, everything you hear is opinion only and not to be considered financial advice.
Here are your hosts, Atul Patel and David Picard.
Alrighty. Hey everyone, welcome to Stock and Options Trading Unlocked. How are you, David?
I'm doing excellent. Had a great day. How about yourself?
Yeah, I saw that. I'm actually more thinking about this morning where I kind of like overtraded a bit and gave back some gains, so I was a little frustrated by it. But the end of the day was turned out to be nice.
Absolutely, it's great calls on that little gap down reversal.
Oh yeah. I mean, it was textbook. So that was beautiful. Even the reshort this morning that we got was pretty nice, and
Nice.
I think that went from. I don't remember where it went from, actually.
It was like 4 to 10 or 9.
Yeah, 4 to
I
11.
got
Yeah, 4 to
stopped
10. And it got
around-
stopped at 9. Yeah, so that
I
still
think
worked out
9.
nice, right? It was good and clean. And then the bigger one was waiting for the end of the day and planning for that. So that also worked out nice with this. We should gap up overnight. Yeah, it was a no-brainer at 390 to go long. Like it, we even planned for it yesterday. We're like, I was wondering, I wanted that 392, and then 390 would be ideal, like we talked about in pre-market prep. That 390, 392 dip and this, and if 390 holds, we could get that gap down reversal play. And it was textbook.
It's got to be one of your top plays.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's my bread and butter, right? Like that's all, and you can make some mad money, which is why it was frustrating, because I knew what was going to happen this morning, and I knew what was going to happen, but I didn't know the timing of when it was going to happen. And so I was like going, okay, well, it's going to go short, but I want to make sure I have some of the calls ready, right? And I kept getting those and I'm like, I just got to be patient. Let it set up. And it usually takes an hour and a half for these to set up, but not always. But
Also the market.
most of the big ones will come after the hour and a half. But not always. Sometimes we get some really amazing continuation trades in the morning. So that's what we're going to be talking about today, is how we had continuation of trend earlier this week, and those trade plans led to moves that were kind of pretty ridiculous. And I mean, I certainly wasn't. I was not expecting the 3,000%. I'm sorry.
I said extraordinary, but not necessarily out of the ordinary for us.
Correct. Yeah, it's not. I mean, it's just a crazy thing, right? And so we're gonna spend a little bit of time going over that. Hopefully, it won't take too long. But the key thing is how we use the levels and analysis I share each morning for planning trades out, right? And how folks can do that. So those that are interested in the levels and the watch list and my pre-market analysis, you should, if you're not already a member of Edamomo, you should definitely take a look at a daily market edge on the website. We're running there's a 30% offer discount on it right now, and if you do sign up, we're also going to throw in sorry for the little ad thing, but just to be also aware that if you're struggling with your 15-minute coaching session on it, so with it, so take advantage of it. It's you're going to see what you can do with those levels and planning and that analysis. It's pretty ridiculous, and so I'm pretty stoked about it. So but yeah, let's talk about what's going on in the market first before we get into that whole thing. Pretty
or
much
just bear market rallies. They just, I
today.
mean,
Yeah, this afternoon bear market rally, but I would say that we
no, I'm not talking this afternoon. The big market picture. I mean, we planned the perfect. We saw the bear market rally,
oh, the
and
exhaustion
we've
of the
been
bear
just
market
playing the
rally.
big
Yeah,
picture,
I
just
misunderstood
consciously.
what you're saying. Yeah,
Yeah,
basically we had a bear market rally and we saw that exhaustion. We weren't sure if it was 424 or 430, at least I wasn't. But we got that, nailed that target for the 424. We had the secondary, if it keeps going, go to 430. That's actually like a gift. Getting that 430 was a gift,
that
right?
was
Like that was like the no brainer. Just like this 390 is a no brainer to go long, that 430 was a no brainer to,
that was
um,
load the truck up. The
yeah,
risk reward was right.
was
That was
just
load the
it was
truck up.
just
Didn't matter.
incredible, right? And so that was the bear puts I think went 4x, but that's a swing for through October, but yeah, that was just killer. Like it was just killer to see, hey, look, we rallied up into the 200-day moving average. We rejected it. Powell came in with his thing, and market finally dumped. Like it should have been.
Yeah.
And
And
now that
it's
we've had a
created
big,
some
like,
awesome volatility and awesome setups that we've been able to take up and down with great range.
yeah, yeah. So right now, and I expect more of this. We're gonna have interim breaks where we get like 7 to 8 days of consolidation before the next big whatever. We're gonna have stuff like that. That's what the way SPY has been doing things. But we've had massive range, massive dips. I was wondering if folks would come in and start buying this morning. Traders come back because if you think when you think about being gone, if you were gone for for a couple months or a month, and you see prices back down to the levels they're at right now, and this big drop, I think I would be inclined to look. I got to go long off this 390. I got to go long off of Apple at 155 support. I mean, and Amazon filled the gap at 125. I got to go long. Like I'm just thinking what some folks might be thinking when they come back and see where things are at. So I don't know if
For
that's how it
sure.
actually helped. You know, if there was
I do,
certain,
but I think that combined with the end of month
yeah,
reallocations that happen, stuff like that, I think it all transpired at the same time.
yeah, and so it's going to be so the question is what happens from here, right? Like I think we're going to have a bit of a rally. I think we need this rally before the next round of selling can come in. But as far as I can tell, we're headed lower, like way lower.
Ain't done yet.
Yeah,
In
way,
my
way lower,
eyes.
right? Like, we've been talking about it for months, I think, weeks. I feel like on the show, we've been talking about how the market's going to be dropping. And so it's starting to play out. It's starting to play out.
Hey,
Hi,
Sin.
hi,
Hey,
Sin. Hey,
Steve.
Steve.
Good seeing you
Yeah,
guys.
good to see you. Um, so let's get into this. Let's talk about this trade, and I'm going to try to keep the show a little bit shorter. We've been doing an hour. Let's see if we can get these done in a half an hour. But the big thing here is so this was a trade we planned out on the 30th. Now I think it was August 30th. So let me go ahead and share the charts. I have it here. Okay, great. You guys should be able to see this. And so what I'm doing is I've gone to the day of this, and let me just zoom out just a little bit. So we don't know this, okay? Because what I'm hoping you'll get out of this session that we're going to be talking about is how to use the levels to plan trades that could pay you over 1,000% or more, right? And this is what I do, right? And this is what people are like, and it's really coming down to using the levels. Okay, the levels are incredibly helpful for planning, and then the analysis, right? Having someone with experienced eyes share their thinking. So that's how it helps. It can help you. And so what we had going on, let's first talk about what happened ahead of this, because we need context when we're planning trades, right? We had the Powell speech, dumped into 400, gap down, popped the day before, pushed up into 406. Okay, this 405.16 kind of failed a little bit and then came back down, right, to 402.60. So that 402.60 started turning into support. Okay.
That was a huge level. That was critical.
Super critical level, right? And I was like, okay, maybe it wants to go back to 410, right, before it goes lower. We weren't sure. And so in my mind, as we're prepping, I don't, when I'm doing the watch list, it's kind of like, this is what I know right here, because I'm starting pretty early, right? And then as the open develops, like the watch is already published, things kind of change by the time that the open came. But I was planning at this point was I wanted to see the reaction to 402.60, right? I was like, if it holds and it can clear 406, then I think it could go that upside. But if 402.60 breaks, right, then I'm planning for the 400 to be taken out, and I'm shooting for at least 398 with a potential bonus round all the way down into this 392, right? And I know it seems crazy, but we just did a 1,000-point drop. SPY in the past has done 1,000-point drops, and we had like 1,200 or 1,400 points the previous time, something like that. And so so what happened this morning is, so we're kind of I have that bull plan, I have a bear plan, and I'm also then looking at where are things going to go. Okay, so if I'm thinking that we're going to go to over 2 different contracts, okay, and instead of trading SPY, I like to use SPX, and you're going to see why. Okay, because the multiples on a turn of a reaching a strike become extraordinary, and you're going to see that, and so especially when you have big moves. Now you don't get those all the time, so it's easily get hurt. So you don't want to be doing careful trading SPX all the time, and be very, very careful if you don't know what you're doing, right? Because those contracts are very wild. They'll eat you alive. So be careful, right? Sometimes it's better to just take more money, take more time, or use SPY, and it's okay. You might not, you might get different returns, but it'll still be solid. Okay, and protect your accounts. So, okay, that said, let's zoom in here and talk about this. So we're talking about planning this trade. Okay, so we're just going to talk about this portion right here. Okay, so we see this price action. It broke 402.60. And this is where, when it broke 402.60, I'm immediately looking at the contracts for the downside. Okay, and now I'm going, okay, hey, if this breaks and we're going to 398, I know that the 400 puts are going to be a minimum of $20, right? The 400 puts, if it gets to 398, are going to be a minimum of $20. Because what I'm looking at, when you're trying to get into a trade, it's important. You'll hear me talk about risk reward all the time. It's about risk reward. Okay. So then let me bring up I think these are the 4,000s. Yeah. Here we go.
That 402.60, I remember from pre-market prep, I was pretty bared up, so I was watching that for the 4,000s, the 3980s, and the 3950s.
Yeah.
So I kind of heavy-handed into all of them on that break.
That's awesome.
Such beautiful plans you had there.
And so this is like $4 right here, right? Get it $4, maybe $5, or I don't know. Somehow I got lucky and I nailed that scoop at 380. I put the order in, dipped in 380, and immediately went in the money to $5. I was like, I love it when that happens, right? But anyways, that was pretty nice. But now, okay, so hey, it's $4 or $5. Okay, if it goes to $20, I have at least if it goes just to $20, I've got a 3-to-1 risk reward there, right? Say $5, I'm going to make at least $15 and I'm right, and I'm risking, say, if I'm risking all of it, it's $5. But I tend to look at things in terms of risk reward, right? So if I'm in at $5 and I'm risking half, let's say that's 250. I really look at this as I'm actually risking $2.50 to make $15, like 7x my risk. I take that trade. Okay, that's like my thing. I need to take the trade. I could be wrong. I don't care. But if this does what I'm thinking it's going to do, I'm going to make a minimum of 7x. Okay. Now let's take a look. When it hit this 398, what was the price? It was $24. Okay. So that's basically $20 off your $4 entry, or $5, $19 gain, right? Ridiculous. Like, I mean, that's pretty much, I mean, it's almost 10x, 1000% right there, off a little bit. But then if you held some beyond that, now what I said earlier, remember, was if we break 398, there is a chance, no guarantees, but there's a chance that if it decides to really go panicky and get stupid, it could go to 392, right? In which case, right, there's a chance that these could go as high as $80, right? And these actually went to $36 here where it exhausted. Okay. So, I mean, that was pretty incredible right there, right? And if you got in at 380, that's almost 10x on face value, almost 20x on risk reward. Pretty incredible, right? But the way it was done was planning, okay? And it was planning that we could, we'll break this and we'll go to 398. Guess I was off on the level, right? I mean, it went at 396 to 397. It's hard to sometimes to gauge where it's going to end up ending. But the important part was to be able to be planning these levels, right? And knowing your minimum risk reward. And then you can leave runners for what's going to happen, right? So this is our rinse repeat. We planned, we saw the price action, we decided which contract to take, we let it play out, okay? We know, I mean, that's basically the plan, right? And then if you want, maybe you shave a little off here, right? That's like $12, right? Immediately take a 4 to 12. Hey, that's triple the face value, right? Take some off. Maybe it comes and bounces again before it goes lower, right? But, solid work on the planning. Generally, if you get 2 levels on the move, I want to make sure I'm locking something in. A lot of times, you might get that 3rd level move, but process and system wise, I get 2 levels, I'm locking some in. If not, and I might even lock everything in, depending on what I think is going to happen. The important part there is, can you do it repeatedly? That's what the levels let you do, right? The levels let you plan trades, know confidently that if it does get to that 2nd level, you're going to have solid profits. Solid profits. If you do that over and over again, your account's going to grow, right? It's this rinse repeat that we always do and look for, right? And these are not gains that you have anything to be shy about, right? I would be pissed if you had gains of this and you're like, no, it's going to go all the way to 80, and then you stop out at $7 or $6 and you gave all this gain up. I'd be upset with myself. Not,
Absolutely.
So we want this. This is what we teach. Now, might be going, what about this 3,000%? You keep talking about this 30 bagger. Okay. So remember I was talking about if this 398 breaks, we might go to 392. So I was like, hey, you know what? If we might go to 392, I'm gonna take the 3950s, right? And this is some of those crazy bets, right? Sometimes it goes, and if it gets juiced and this gets down here, I was fairly certain that I would be able to sell these, depending on the time, I'd be able to sell them for at least $3. Right? If it's in the early morning and we get there quickly, I'll be able to sell them for at least $3, which is a 10x, right? Because check these out. When we were buying the 4000s, the 3950s, 30 cents, right? And this is just one of my crazy YOLOs, right? I was like going, you know what? I'm going to YOLO this because it wasn't really about the $3 I was excited about. It was that if it got to 392, this could go to $30. 30 cents, that's 100x. I'm going to take, if that potential, in this particular situation, the potential is absolutely there.
Okay, guys, I just want you to realize what he just said. 30 cents. $3 is a attainable target in his head. There's a stretch target of 30. He said YOLO too. Guys, you know what that means. That doesn't mean we're going to be degenerates and gamble. You could have took a measly 3 contracts, risked $90, and had phenomenal results. I just want perspective of that, because when we're talking about that type of bet, you don't need, I mean, this is really, you don't need a lot. This is something
and
really
because it's a
small.
YOLO, you could lose it all. Right.
I take a little bit of profits and I roll it in. He called that out. That's exactly what I did, because I already was in my 4,000s, my 3980s, and we were really green. So heck yeah, we're going to do that.
Yeah. And so we jump in on that. And look at that.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, I'm glad you're at the team. You know, we always are about helping folks be better traders. Look at this. So this already started moving. These were still kind of figuring out, like people were still going, they hadn't realized
the market's
15 minutes until 15 minutes later about this is about to go apeshit. Okay. They didn't realize, like I alerted it here about, I think right here, 12 minutes before the move started.
Here, I can tell you.
9:48.
Because I can tell you my order fills.
Okay.
I try to do trade reviews as we talk about, so I'll have my order fills. I got filled at 8:49 Central Time, Central Standard for 30 cents.
Yeah, right. And so this was like, guys, okay, at that same moment, right? These were already, I think, up a couple bucks. I think on the 400s, right? Maybe whatever. But the point is that, you know, I've gone through a lot of history and experience knowing how these things move. And I how many times do you go, oh my God, I could have bought it at this, right? And so because I had pretty high conviction on this break that we're going to go, in my mind, I had programmed myself. I'm also going to take the far YOLO for where it's going to maybe go. So I already planned this all out, right? Because I mean, it was just math. And I'm just like, hey, if it maybe goes 100x, that's going to be amazing, right? Hell yeah. But I don't know if it's going to do that. You know, and I'm going to protect myself. If I get 10x, I'm immediately locking some in, because who cares then? I can't lose.
Why not?
Right? I can take a third off and just forget about it. And then whatever it does by the end of the day, it does, right? Unless I get something crazy. Okay? This is what happened. I was all excited about, 30 cents. It immediately went to $1. And I'm like, okay, that's kind of cool. But I think we're going to get at least, you know, when it gets to this, or 398, should get at least $3. Okay. So when it hit 398, it blew right through my $3, went right to 4. And that's where I'm like, I canceled my 3s, moved them up to 4. I'm like, okay, I'm going to lock a bunch in here. Thank you. Right. I just got 10x in a matter of 45 minutes. Right. I'm taking that. The balance. So this held, you know, raised my stops to $3. So I was still happy with 10x.
Taking it, it does not matter the monetary value. It's systematic.
Yeah, I'm not even thinking about how much I made. I have no idea actually at this point.
Doesn't matter.
I'm just looking at, okay, how am I going to sell half? Am I going to sell a quarter? And then I'm putting the orders in, right?
You
and then
need to program yourselves.
And it's just
this is not emotional.
Yeah, you can't think about the money, because if you do, you start doing dumb shit. And so you just like, I'm like, okay, here, great. And then I put the order in, I think at 10 and 12, and then I put like 20 because I was just like, whatever, let's see what happens. And then I just immediately raised my stops. And I think I got stopped on the last bit here at 780.
I got 740.
Yeah. And, you know, so as soon as it started doing this stupid move, right, I'm like raising the stops, right? But I'm not actually taking profit, because sometimes what happens is you take the profit and it moves another $4 or another $8, right? And since this was being stupid and there is a wide range between levels, I want to give it a chance to perform. But if it decides to not perform, I'm not going to give back like a whole bunch of, I don't want to give back. I don't want to be in where it was at 950 and then sell it all at 350 15 minutes later, right? By being too patient. It gets up here at $9. I'm raising my stops to $8. Keep going. Go ahead. You come back. Thank you. That's fine. Right. But, at $9, when you get in something at 30 cents, and if you sold it at 9, that's 30x. Right? Did I plan and know that this was going to hit and happen? No. If anything, it actually underperformed what I was looking for. But process-wise, am I going to complain that am I upset that I sold the last bit here at $8? That I bought at 30 cents an hour earlier?
Okay.
But I planned for it, right? I was planning where I thought it would go. And that is what lets me, because I was using the levels, I was figuring out where I think it's going to go. And, and then I'm like, okay, hey, what's the price going to be if it gets there end of day? And then, I sell this, and then I'm going to come back and I can put an order back in at $1 or something. If it comes back and decides to start working later, great. And I think my reload got wiped out. Great. Who cares?
That's why we're systematic and take profits.
Yeah. So any questions on this process about how to use the levels to plan these trades out? Well, you're basically reverse engineering. What is the value of the contract going to be if it gets to the target levels? Right. And then you throw in a little bit of juice, which is a little bit of art for Open Mobile. Oh, not sure what that means.
Yeah, not either.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's basically it. Any other questions, folks, about how to trade this and plan this? So guys, day in, day out, just to give you some perspective, if you're not already a member, each morning I do a daily market analysis where I talk about how I think the market may play out, what I'm looking for, right? Same thing this morning. What did I say on pre-market prep that I'm looking to have happen?
Down reversal?
Gap down reversal on 390, 392, between that area, right? Let's see the reaction.
Well, we hit 390 and 4 cents as the low of day to rocket to 396 into the close, 397 probably after hours.
Yeah.
396.75.
The
Not bad.
Yeah. Was right here, 390. So we're looking for this. We even, plan for this is experience. Okay. The benefit you're getting by having this pre-market analysis is my experience. And being able to say, hey, and then create what if scenarios, right? What if the market decided to keep selling? Okay, great. If it 390 broke, then there's an opportunity for us to go back to 380 to really dump into 387. One play, right? Because it was acting weak. Okay, against VWAP, we can go in and go short according to that plan, but you can also go long here, right? And so it consolidated, final dip, crossed VWAP, crosses 390, 260, and this is where I alerted here that, guys, start considering some swing longs. 15 minutes later, maybe not even 15 minutes later, we went nuts, right? But again, experience, and where we're talking about this, we even talked about the double bottom here, and that this is an okay place where to start a swing long or add. if you're already in. Like I had those 405s for next week on SPY. It's rare that I'm going to swing, unless like it's really rare.
Listen up when that's the case.
Guys, it's really rare because unless it's a obscene risk reward situation, I generally don't swing. Right? Like I just it's like it has to be for me kind of like it's dumb. I look at it as if I'm going to swing, it has to be it's dumb for me not to. That's my attitude. And I could be wrong. But some of these swings have been pretty spot on. But yeah, so it's been working okay. Not always, but I think that's with everything. But some of these in intraday where I see these big levels, and it worked out perfectly. So yeah, this was nuts. Nutty move. But that's it for the show. That's all I wanted to kind of cover today, was really about using the levels to help you plan trades and make bank.
Yeah.
Yeah. The same thing. If you think about it, if you got long on this 390, right? 392, because I was showing the levels I had for the previous day, I hid the level for 396, but otherwise there's a level for 396 here. And look where we closed. 396. Okay. So let's go through that. If we have, and that's this 2 levels away is 396. Okay. So if we got 2 levels, you're planning that, hey, we may close at 396. Then you could go, hey, you know what? If I can get the 3940s, right, at $2 or less, and I don't know if they even came down to that, but if I can get the 3940s for $2 or less, they might hit $20 end of day. Right? Let's take a look at what happened with the chart today. $901, and we're looking at the calls, and we're looking at 3940s.
Yeah.
They were $1. They were down on this last dip, 250, but during this time down here, they came down to $1. Could have just said, hey, look, here's a great example. Okay, I think we're gonna turn around today. I think we're gonna go a 2-level move. So I'm targeting 396. So then I'm gonna take the 3940s because I know those are gonna be $20 or better. If I can buy this for under $2, I'm in. Hey, it's down at $1 or it's $2. Great, I'm just jumping in. You can keep it that simple and use the levels to help you that way.
And that was 10x. Even on those 3940s, you really could have taken them later in the day after the VWAP 392 level claim and retest, right?
Well, when you did it here
in that accumulation period,
right here,
50 to $3,
and those still went to 350 or so, right? Yeah. But on 0-day contracts, I generally want to have I try to get a 10x setup.
Yeah,
because it could go to
that
0.
Risk reward, you'd get that though, right? Because you could easily risk $1.50 versus the low of that swing.
Well, except I've seen too many times on 0-day that this will come down to the same prices here and then rip. So I almost look at it as I have to consider it as 100%. Well, let me phrase that. If this consolidation is right, then yes, you can actually just use it as a break of VWAP. And then you can just use 50%. So that's $1.50. Yeah, that's $1.50. Then this was still 10x off that.
Absolutely, more than
yeah. And you got it here. So again, you're looking at here. You're planning for that next level. Reverse engineer the math. Go make bank.
Yep. So, multiple opportunities on that chart.
Yeah. And so so guys, if you're watching this and you don't have Daily Market Edge, be sure to subscribe. I think we need to if we can post a link I think I have it somewhere. I'll find it and post it in the chat.
I'll throw it in.
Okay, thank you. And hop in and subscribe, and I'll be sure to add it to our description for the video. But and then just what's coming, we're going to be adding more. So the daily market edge right now doesn't include the pro features, which is commentary in real time and alerts and plans, but that's coming. And so stay tuned. It's going to be some pretty cool stuff. So anything you want to add, folks?
No, I just, once again, I think, guys, realize these opportunities set up all the time. You don't need this extreme range to really find these great risk reward opportunities. Also, these extreme days will set up maybe 5 to 20 times a year, or at least that's my kind of perspective.
Yep, that's all right.
Don't feel like you missed it. Don't race into things, guys. Take your time with it. You also don't have to, this is one thing that I need to get better. I don't always need to catch like the exact bottom or top.
You don't.
So
look at the way these contracts move.
Yep.
Right. They ripped. Oh, I missed it. Okay, great. Where's it going to come back down to?
Exactly.
Okay.
So take your time, be patient, only take the best setups. I can tell you that when you're hyper focused and you really look for those great setups, 2 to 3 a day for me.
And believe in yourself.
Let the trade play out. Have patience, stick to it. Once it's invalidated, that's when you're out. Take your medicine, be done, and be happy. I'm okay with losing.
Yeah. And notice we talk a lot about losing. And but we, these wins are actually pretty amazing. But we're so focused on that protecting capital. Okay. And not like, hey, let's just YOLO this. Oh, whatever. It's going to be amazing. Yeah, it might be amazing. Like, I don't try to, because I don't like to be, when I first started trading, I got, you've joined trading rooms and they're all about pumping. What's the next best thing? But what's happening historically in a lot of trading rooms is the mods and their friends are loading up before they tell the world that, oh, this is the next best thing. And guess what they're doing? They're selling it to everybody that's chasing, right? That's not what we do. That's why we choose to look for names with a lot of liquidity, right? We want you to be able to trade this with a $10,000 account or $1 million account, right? And not get wrecked.
And we'll talk about trades where we're saying, hey, you're going to have a better chance of getting in than my price.
Yeah, and a lot of times members get in at a better price than me, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm the first mover seeing it, that it's playing, and then I'm trying to buy it at a better price. But, there's a lot to do between sharing, alerting, order tracking, and all that I don't always, but I focus on, okay, what is the bigger picture? What's the risk reward? And so it's really, oh, that's awesome.
Here, Sin.
It's so hard, right?
Always talk about sitting on my hands. It's real. That's a challenge at times. So I can appreciate that. Don't worry.
Hey
Javier, send an email over to david@metamomo.com, please.
So anyways, I hope this was helpful, and guys, we love seeing your growth, and share your results with us. Like, I want to see how you're trading. I want to see what you're doing, and if you need help, reach out. Like, we're here to help. And so thanks for coming, and we'll see you next time.
To add to that, we love helping. This is our passion, guys. We want you to be successful with it. Your messages, seeing your success is actually what really pleases us. It puts
it's kind of
we rinse repeat this, so we got it. We want you guys to get it. So I love hearing that from Sin. I had an amazing message from actually another user, which was probably the best message I've seen, or I feel like I've got. Let's see if I could find it. I haven't shared it with you.
Sin's saying limiting myself to 1 to 2 trades each day this week has helped me get multiple 3x gains on my trades this week. That's amazing, Sin. That's great. I just shut my phone off now, trading mobile. It helps. It does, right? By doing less is more, right? Less is a lot more. And it's tough.
Absolutely. Right. Really wanted to find this. Where was that?
Oh, we got to 3970 overnight. Might have to take it. We might get it. Okay. All righty. Did you find that message?
No, I didn't. Oh, fine.
Okay. So it looks like I've got
Oh,
folks.
here it is.
Okay, go for it.
It was, to be honest, you and Spec probably the only genuine people in FinTwit or this space in general.
Oh.
Very like, that's a very like,
Wow.
appreciative, like straightforward comment that has nothing to do about money gains. It's just like, hey, we're honest, we want to help. You know?
Yeah, we want to help,
I
we're
love seeing people's success.
we're not pumpers. We're not like everybody get on board, because that's not our job. Our job is to provide and identify the process. Great risk reward opportunities. That's what our goal is, and teach you how to take advantage of that. And then it's up to you to be able to take the decision, right? That's kind of my philosophy. Is I'm not gonna tell you you have to be in this. You got to do. No, that's not my job, right? And I'm not I don't know what's right or wrong for you. I'm just saying, here's what's right or wrong for me. Here's the opportunity I see for myself. Here's the risk reward I see, and I like it. And this is what I'm planning on doing. The rest is, it's really up to you to learn to go and say, hey, this works, this doesn't work, or right, I'm right, I'm also wrong. But managing that, learning how to manage that. Anyway, we can go forever. I'm late. I just love this stuff too much. So love y'all. See you all next time, and take care.
Yeah. Guys, have a green Friday. Enjoy. Be careful out there. See you next time.